Hello everybody, welcome to some PFL news with your host Leo Carson here, and we are going to start out with some news here, global news of the PFL here, national paper. A new season officially kicks off this week. So NFL news and notes by Jake Small, our special contributor. Teams are in camp now, and that means that we have only a few short weeks until the preseason starts. So the training camp will start January 12th, and we are going to see about 16 days of the training camp before we start the preseason in February. Working out, Jake Small again. Players are trying to get back into playing shape with the season quickly approaching. In today's NFL, this is becoming less of an issue as most players work out all year long to stay in shape. The preseason length, a lot of people, my take by Kerry Milton, a lot of people complain about the preseason length, but I like it. It takes at least 4 to 5 games for these guys to get in sync. Would you want the sloppy play of preseason games to carry over to the regular season? I wouldn't either. Well, that's not the exact point of the preseason. So the preseason is to get the rookies ready for the season. So they have 4 games to actively get ready for the league. The NFL has changed it now to down to 3 preseason games for all the rookies to get ready for the regular season. So, Jake Small again. Season in review. All 32 PFL franchises have released information on last year's season. This is their first year, so there is no last year, this year's season, and review DVDs. These DVDs can be ordered from team websites, and they cost about $19.95. This is fake news, by the way. Fantasy football by Jake Small. Fantasy football is sweeping the land, and it gets more popular each year. My draft is this weekend, and I have no idea who to take. Do I take a halfback first, or do I take a wide receiver? All I know is that I can't wait for the season to start so I can follow my fantasy team. Well, start with a quarterback first. All right, time to get into our local paper here. We're going to start with the Badgers news here. A new season. Teams are in training camp now, and that means that we have only a few weeks until the preseason. We have 2 months. A little over a month before the preseason starts. Madden debut by Catherine Browning. This year's version of Madden has been released, much to the delight of the team that makes it. This year's innovation are too many to list, but keep an eye out for reviews. They should be appearing in magazines and soon on the website. Well, this Madden that we have just had previously has been released back in August. Between July and August. That one. And that game was not that great. Working out by Jake Small. Players are trying to get back into playing shape with the season quickly approaching. In today's PFL, that is becoming less of an issue as most players work out all year long to stay in shape. Well, this year, we're going to be doing it. I know I'm rereading some of these articles that were previously in the global paper, the national papers, but I'm going to do every article as it stands. Preseason length by Kerry Milton. I'm going to reread the article again. A lot of people complain about the preseason length, but I like it. It takes about 4 to 5 games for these guys to get in sync. Would you want the sloppy play of preseason games to carry over in the regular season? I wouldn't either. All right. So going on to the Bobcats. And it looks like the Bobcats paper is going to be about the same here. So a new season. I won't continuously read these articles continuously, but I will show you the storylines anyways. If you want to reread it, go ahead. What I will do when I get done showing these articles is I'm going to go back, and there's this thing called Team Info. So let's go back here. And this Team Info is very important because this shows you everything for the team. Now, their prestige in yellow, 17th, 14th, 13th, and 15th. This is how it starts. You get to see their salary cap, their salary room, their cap room, their penalties, salary. And this shows their head coach and who their rival are. Okay. Bobcats. Well, since the Texas Rangers are not in the Bobcats division, that could be the league rival. Got Nolan there. Got Busters. Their rival is Mushrooms, of course. You'll notice that it says New England head coach because Bill Belichick. It looks like the Busters are going to have a good year. Bobcats looks like they're going to have quite a struggle. Busters teams are looking pretty good. That's their prestige. So the prestige looks pretty good. We don't know how they're going to play the year. You guys seen the fantasy draft. The Centurions, they're looking like they're not going to be too great. And you can see that their rivals is the Montigues. The Convicts, they're looking pretty good. Their rival is with the Plunderers. The Cougars, their prestige is pretty well. It says their rival is with Pallet Cougars, which that is expected because they're in the same division. Coyotes, this is expected because the Texas are in their division. You got their prestige not looking too good. Dragons, their prestige is really not looking that great, and their rival is the Hawks. FD Fighters, their prestige is not looking that great as well. DK Kongs are their rival, which is expected. They're in the same divisions, I guess. Generals prestige are way out there, and their rivals is with the Raptors. The Hawks, their prestige isn't looking too great. Their rivals is with the Cougars. The Knights, their prestige isn't that great. Their rival is with the Hawks, which is very expected. Kongs, prestige is not that great. I expected their rivals to be the Royals. Leopards, their prestige is up pretty high. Their rivals with the Generals. Looniversity, their prestige isn't that great as a team. And we already knew that they're going to end up having their rivals with the Buffalo Rivals. Magics, their prestige is a little below average. They're with their rivals are the Rangers. Medics' prestige is pretty good. Their rivals with the Cougars. Miners' prestige are really good. Their rivals are with the Montigues. Montigues' prestige isn't that great. Their rivals with the Centurions. Plunderers' prestige isn't that great. Their rivals with with the Convicts. Rangers' prestige isn't that great, just slightly below half, and their rivals are with the Cougars. Or not the Cougars, the Coyotes. Raptors, their prestige is almost bottom. But again, the prestige really doesn't really mean much. It just depends on how they play in the season. They're rivals with the Generals. Buffalo Rivals, their prestige is way up there. And of course, we already knew that their rivals is going to be with the Looniversity. That we knew. Rock Crushers, their prestige is all the way up there. They're rivals with the Hawks. The Royals, their prestige is slightly below average. They're rivals with the Kongs. Sharks, prestige is below average. Their rivals is with the Generals. Stars, again, their prestige is slightly below average. Their rival is with the Bobcats. Superstars, their prestige is slightly below average. Their team is with the Montigues. Terrors, their prestige is very below on their rivals with the Generals. Tigers, almost no prestige at all. Their rivals with the Cougars. Warriors' prestige is about half, right there in the middle. And their rival is with the Montigues. Wildcats' prestige is in the green. They're above average. Their rivals with the Sharks. All right, so those are about it for the team information and news. Busters, they're going to have the same articles as well as everybody else because we don't have a whole lot of news for the preseason as of right now, until the training camp, because we have to go and actually see how they do. Yeah, so all of these articles are going to end up being about the same. I will go through every paper so you can actually look at them. Maybe I will probably find an article that's different. That's why you actually want to go and check these teams individually, just in case there is an article that's different from the other papers. So since this is going to be on video, you can pause it, read it. I've read all of these, so this is pretty much all the same for all the papers. Okay, so as you can see, some of these papers that you'll find out, EA got a license for them. The ones that they don't have license, they'll just say go to easports.com. Okay. And the paper is reflected to the team I switched them with, okay? Okay. We're on the Cougars right now. It's pointless just to look at the team standings right now because there's no win and loss records right now because we haven't started the season. So doing this basically because maybe there was I will have the timestamps on these and for each team so that you can actually go to your team that you currently own so that you can actually take a look at the article yourself. All right. And you can basically see exactly what team your team has replaced for this year. And these guys replaced the Houston Texans, the Dragons. So the Dragons are currently in Texas right now. All right, FD Fighters are currently in New York because they replaced the Jets. So And you guys get interesting covers too, because we're just early in the in this, so you're not going to get much of a picture. Sometimes they'll have the NFL logo, sometimes they'll have the EA logo. So the papers aren't that much interesting to look at as of right now. So I'm pretty much seeing all the articles being the same as of right now. But hey, I'm just going through each of them. Maybe I'll find one that is not the same as the other ones. This is Jacksonville's paper. Alright, keeping this going. We are on Miami's paper, which is for the Kongs. Kongs did replace the Dolphins. I do have a Google forum that shows you exactly what team were replaced. I believe this is the Vikings paper. I could be wrong. But somebody can correct me. University replaced the New York Giants. So there's your alternative right there. So the one thing I find kind of weird about this is despite the Giants and the Jets having identical newspapers, they have, in this game, they have different covers to represent each team, despite the paper traditionally would cover both teams in one paper. This is the Cardinals paper. As you can see, it's the Arizona Daily Star. And this is the licensed paper, so this is not a licensed paper, but we can tell that this is for the Ravens. This is a licensed paper, it looks like. No, this is not a licensed paper, because anytime when it says EA Sports, it's not licensed. Because they couldn't get the license for the Seattle Inquirer. Alright. The Orlando Review. The Oakland Review? Well, you guys already know who the Montigues replaced, don't ya? That's right, the Oakland Raiders. Plunderers. They replace the Saints. And they did not get a license for the New Orleans Tribune. I do like the Cowboys' paper, though. That one is officially licensed. So EA managed to get a license for that paper. This one they did not get a license for, but they have gotten a license for Chicago's paper before. If you look at one of the other Madden games, they will basically show ya. Raptors replaced the Bears. The Rivals have replaced the Eagles. I remember one of the Madden games, they actually have a license for the Philadelphia paper, and I'm pretty sure it's not called the Philadelphia Sun. Rock Crushers. Still seeing no articles that are different. So it's going to not help me to read all this. So the Royals replaced the Buffalo Bills, and I have seen the Buffalo News before. I don't live in Buffalo, but the New York area does get the Buffalo News. They don't have a license for Tampa Bay paper. The Sharks have replaced the Buccaneers. Stars have replaced the Rams. Superstars have replaced the Chargers. I just want to get this done and over with. You guys can read the paper. If you guys just want to come in here and you guys want to see the beginning portion of this video, it's okay. And then, or if you want to come in and just to see what all the papers look like, this is for the Lions. Cleveland Browns paper for the Tigers. Warriors. We're almost done here. Kansas City Constitution, which is not the official name for the Chiefs paper. Wildcats. They have the Panthers paper. The reason why I know it's the Panthers is because it says Charlotte Constitution, which is not the official name. But your Carolina Panthers are in Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, so that takes care of all the articles there for the news. So you got a
coming to you live from Redwood Shores. It's the EA Radio Show with your host Tony Bruno.
So I'm going to do that right now. I forgot this replays it back. The Tony Bruno Show is already uploaded onto the channel, so you guys already got the Tony Bruno Show. All right. So you guys already got the Tony Bruno Show. We will be starting the training camp January 12th. So be ready for that. 16 days of the training camp. I will show you briefly what that looks like. I read all this during a live stream. And this is what it looks like. All 32 teams will have their own training camp. I'm still deciding whether I should do it live or not. I might do it live. Live seems like an easier thing to do. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm hoping that when I start the preseason, we get some better news. See you at the training camp, everybody.